bro. Oh man, ain't no way, you guys. This has to be one of the craziest plot twists of 2025. As it turns out, you guys, Pusha T and Meek Mill were not the first artists to expose Drake for having ghostwriters. It was actually the guy that beat him in the rap battle last year, Kendrick Lamar. Now, you guys know Kendrick Lamar does not do social media. He does not do interviews. He does not do Instagram lives, nor does he do Twitter. The only way that we ever find out information about Kendrick Lamar is mainly through Kendrick's friends. People like Hitter J3, Glasses Malone, DJ Head, guys that's been around Kendrick from the jump. Now, sometimes it's a good thing, but other times it's pretty bad. Maybe it's just me, you guys, but certain conversation that's had in private should always remain private. If you ever find yourself on a podcast asking yourself if something you're about to say is snitching or not, 9 times out of 10, it's probably snitching. On the most recent episode of The Bigger Picture with Elliot Wilson, Jeremy Hecht, and also DJ Head, they were having a conversation and called up Glasses Malone. Glasses went on to reveal that back in 2011, that's right, you guys, 2011, Kendrick Lamar knew about Drake's ghostwriting. Here's what he said.
Of when people actually knew Drake had any writers. We kind of didn't say it for sure last time, but at that time, were there rumblings that you knew of within the Cash Money crew that you knew he had people working with him, or it wasn't till later that you had heard those rumors?
The first person that brought it to my attention, and I don't know if this right to snitch on him, is Dot. Dot is the first person that brought it to my attention. But I'll be honest, when he first came, it was always, we knew it was a pop approach from a pop artist. He was introduced kind of as this Nickelodeon kind of kid to the people at the label. And, you know, talking to him, he was a well-mannered dude. But when they pressed play, you could just tell he was like a savant when it came to making records. Like, it was just nice. Yeah. So now that I understand what's happening, like, that would make sense. You know what I mean? Especially a lot earlier than we think. You know what I mean?
Was that 2011?
Yeah, I'm thinking it's around then. But I don't think we would have had rumbles about it because we kind of always knew that he was a pop artist. You know what I mean? Like, not like he's a rapper, but he was a pop artist. His approach was an assembly line of how he made music that fit. Like, and he had a bunch of, you know, he had a great team. 40 was fantastic. Boy, he won the T-minus. Them dudes were like fantastic. He walked in with this team. Like, he had a plan and he executed and his plan worked.
But you knew that. Do you think Kendrick, when he said that to you, was he disappointed? Like, because basically, like, I've been studying this whole, like, was Kendrick disappointed?
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I called the nigga a liar.
That's your fast
truth.
That's a fact.
I didn't quite understand what pop meant, like what pop was. Like, now I'm like, God damn it. You know what I mean? It make perfect sense. But when he first said that, I was like, hell nah, man. I'm watching this dude do his thing. Like, you know, at that time, I'm still just kind of looking at him like somebody else at the label. You know what I mean? Like, shit, Tiger writing his own shit, Nick writing her own shit. Like, I'm thinking Cuz doing the same. And when Dot said it, remember then I heard King Kunta. So I'm like, this is about Cuz. So when it came, you know what I'm saying? When it came out publicly, like when Meek kind of leaked it, and then I start asking around like all the back channel, I was like, oh, hell. You know what I mean? Which I didn't really take credit from him because, you know, I always kind of thought of him as like a pop artist. Like, you know, that's like being upset you discover Madonna don't write her own songs.
I thought of it more like, yay. Like, I looked at it like,
I think Kendrick was probably upset because he was looking at Drake as his competition, which he said at that time. And he's like, I want to be the best rapper of my generation, which you are right now, because Drake was in that spot. I think he was like, damn, this is who they're looking at like that when I'm doing all this extra work.
I think that was around the time. Was that around that time when we were on that tour together?
It was right after.
It was right after we came back from that tour.
Right after. Yeah. But when he told me, I was like, nigga, hell no. I'm like, you know what I mean? But I didn't. Now, in hindsight, it all makes sense. You know what I mean? His approach is very much like Michael Jackson. He just got multiple Rod Tempertons. You know what I mean? He said it openly a million times, and none of us ever paid attention that this was his approach, because we've looked at rap Rap has been so synonymous with hip hop over, especially Elliot, me and our lives, bro. So, since fucking Debbie Harry rapped on Rapture, everybody else that's been decent in rapping, you pretty much knew that they were kind of part of hip hop versus now where rapping is being used with all genres. And now their own rules apply, in that genre or in that, that whole collective of how they approach making records. So he's always had this really brilliant approach at how he was going to make records, but he also understood he was taking it all from a pop perspective.
Now, I'm pretty sure that was information that Kendrick probably would not have liked to be made public. A lot of Drake fans are now looking at Kendrick like, bruh, this man Drake was showing you love back in 2011. He put you on his tour. Not only that, but Drake being the bigger artist at the time, he was getting on records with you, trying to elevate your status in the game at the time. Now, I'm not sure how Kendrick found out this information about Drake back in 2011, but you have to imagine if he told Glasses Malone, he most likely told a whole lot of people as well. And not to mention, you guys, back in 2011, 2012, these guys also did a swap. Kendrick Lamar gave Drake a feature for Take Care, and he also took a feature from Drake for Good Kid, Mad City. So obviously, if you're a Drake fan, this looks a little bit weird to you. If you had an issue with me having ghostwriters, why are we still working together?
Drake's a real good dude, first and foremost. He heard my music probably a year back, reached out and just gave me respect on it. You know what I'm saying? So it was a mutual feeling for us appreciating the music. I put out Section 80. Couple months later, like, yo, I need you on this tour, it'll be a pleasure, be an honor. I was like, that's dope, man. You know what I mean? I can't back down from that, to expand my music to a crowd that haven't heard it before. I know it's 15,000 people out there. I'm used to 2,000. I'm finna work. I'm finna get at least 100 of these folks.
And you also gotta ask yourself the question, did Drake let his guard down around Kendrick? Was he looking at Kendrick as a friend while Kendrick was looking at him as a colleague, as his competition that he needs to get rid of? Keep in mind, the Control verse did not come out until 2013. So this means that Kendrick Lamar had 2 years to be around Drake, study everything about him, learn information about him, some which he eventually used to defeat Drake last year. Now, personally, I just want to see an interview with somebody like Vori. We gotta hear from some of these ghostwriters that Drake had in the past. Right now, there's just too much misinformation going on between ghostwriters, producers, and also co-writers as well. But if I'm Kendrick Lamar, at this point, I have to send a cease and desist to all my friends with podcast mics. Stop trying to reveal private information that I did not co-sign. You guys get in the comments.
Yeah, now let me vibe with y'all for a minute. I'm about to give y'all my opinion on this because I got to go in on this. Make sure y'all drop a like, hype, comment, and subscribe. It's your boy Jetski G. We back with another banger. Now, when it comes to this, I can actually see Kendrick's angle on this. He might have been disappointed. He might have actually looked at Drake as somebody who was a great artist, and because he appreciates the art, and he might have just been disappointed. But you can also see it from Drake's perspective, like, yo, I was trying to show you love. I was looking at you like my brother. And the whole time you were thinking about backdooring me. So drop it in the comments. Let me know which one of those perspectives do you look at as like being more prevalent in this situation. Because like each side is right for looking at it that way. Like they have the right to look at it that way. Like if I was looking up to you and I find out like you're in the spot that I would like, and to come to find out you the Wizard of Oz, everything about you is fake, nothing is real, I have the right to feel some type of way. But on the flip side, what if the Wizard of Oz actually put you in position to be great? Like, what if you were doing, he said he was doing shows with 2K. Now you're in front of people from between 15, at that time, 2011. Yeah, now you're in front of 15,000 to 30,000 people. Like, that's a big jump. Like, that's a huge jump. And you're being brought on tour when, honestly, he could have brought anybody on tour. He could have brought Meek Mill on tour. Actually, if he would have brought Meek Mill on tour, it would have made more sense at that time because Meek Mill was actually a little more buzzing more, and it just would have made more sense. So, and that's the caliber of artist he should have probably took on tour at that time. You get what I'm saying? So for him to reach out and grab Kendrick, that is showing some major love. So I can see both sides of the spectrum. But wanting to be great and wanting to protect hip hop and also growing to look at Drake as like a colonizer, I could see where the disdain would grow because I wouldn't like somebody like that. Like, even if I had love for you and, you know, I got to know you. Like, it's a lot of people you get to know at first and you be like, yo, this person's solid. And then your friends might be telling you like, this person's amazing. And then you get to know him and you see him behind the mask and you like, no, this dude's a fucking nut. I don't like nothing about him. I think he a nut. I don't like him. I don't like him. And you got the right to feel that way because the old heads call it waiting until the other foot drop. Like, and that means basically, and you should use this in relationships, everybody is going to show you a certain side of them when you first meet them. And then the other foot drops and you see the other side of them. You know, the true person they are, and you don't have to like that person. We're adults. I don't have to like you. So I believe Kendrick might have went through that, but I can also see Drake's side where it's like, yo, I showed you major, major love that nobody else was showing you. If they were showing you that, they would have did it. They didn't do it. I did it. And here it goes that you were actually a Judas in my camp, getting information just to backstab me. So I see both sides. Y'all drop it in the comments. Let me know how y'all feel about this. I would probably stand more on Kendrick's side because, yes, it does look like they're from Drake's side. But if you look at it from the perspective of, well, I just got to know you. And once I got to know you, I wasn't feeling you. I don't care what you did for me. I don't like you as a human being. I don't like you for hip hop. It's not like I want you like anything to happen to you. I just don't believe that you should have the position that you have in hip hop. It's unfair. Fair enough. All right, so y'all drop it in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this one. This one's a little sticky. All right, it's your boy Jetski G. If ain't nobody told you they love y'all, I love y'all. Also, I'm gonna drop 2 more bangers. One right here, one right here. Click one of those videos. I'm gonna see y'all in the next video. I'm out, y'all. Man, they just keep coming out about this guy Drake.